All right, so how do we disrupt an industry? So a lot of you guys who are, in sales or marketing, or you are an entrepreneur, you might ask yourself this question on, okay, how do I, leave my mark? How do I get to brand myself and brand what I do, and really get my name out there? How come is it that every once in a while, right? Every, let's say, 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, you see a YouTube channel suddenly starts to blow up, or you see somebody on LinkedIn suddenly starting to show, or somebody suddenly opens a podcast, or whatever the case may be, right? They have followed a few detailed manners onto how did they get their name out there, and how did they get their brand for their audience and their customers to see, which had specific benefits, including they expanded their client base, they expanded the people who wanted to work with them, to do business with them, to join their team, to do this, that, and the other, right? So it's an all kind of collective manner onto how did they were they able to do that, right? So number one, the most important thing that we need to be focused on today is advertising, right? So you have to advertise, advertise, advertise. You have to advertise like a maniac, right? This is a very, very, very important skill to have. Forget about appointment setting, sales skills, closing, if a stranger can't be looking at what you're doing, or your name, and accompany that with a clear pictured advertisements of what's going on, or the broad general knowledge of what you're doing, right? They will never, it will never create a spark. It will never create a curiosity inside of them to see, oh, what is this guy doing? I might want to call him or her, or and see what are they up to, right? Whether you're in a car wash business, or you're in a healthcare, or in the insurance business, whatever it is that you're doing, if you don't know how to advertise, you will never get what you want. So the number one important thing is advertising. Number two, having a personal brand. That is related to advertising, but is slightly different than that. So what does a brand mean? A brand means having a personal picture, or a broad profile that kind of attracts a stranger, or attracts someone to see that, okay, this guy is in the financial industry, or this guy is in sales, this guy is in this girl does a podcast, this this, that. You have to have a major kind of a profile that kind of explains itself, right? Doesn't need a lot of people to second to guess a lot about what you do, or no, they already have an idea about what you do. This is why, for example, if you see a car wash owner, right? So what do they have on their LinkedIn webpage, or their profile? They're either standing next to a car, they're either holding a washer, the thing that you use to wash a car, or they're standing next to a car collection, if they're a car salesman, right? This allures the audience. This gives a message to the audience that this is what I do, right? So before we even get into business, or get into contact together, we already know kind of what I do, so that you already have a sort of a primary interest, or you have an idea in mind of what I do already, right? So this is also very important to work on your personal brand as well. So as we said, so advertising, very important. Personal branding is also very important. Number three, and is I think it's the most important one. Or it's even more important than the first two. It's volume. In order to disrupt properly, the reality is you have to do a crap ton of volume. You have to do a load of volume that kind of outworks and outdoes everybody else. Like, this is the only way you can disrupt, if you have the potential to disrupt, and if you have the the gap to actually enter the disruption phase, you have to just keep on doing a lot of volume, a lot of outreaches. So this connects to my first video I did about doing a lot of sales, reaching out to the rule of 100. So reaching out to 100 people every day, right? You can start by doing that every week at first, then you can improve to doing it 2 by 2. So 2 by 2, 100. That's what I do. 100. That's like the proper average. And then after that, you can kind of improve or get to the next level once you have developed a sort of comfortability towards handling rejections, handling loss, handling people that want nothing to do with you, right? It's also a skill to develop as well. So yes, guys, these are the three main manners to properly disrupt an industry, or disrupt a media channel, or doing whatever of this sort. I hope you took something out of this. If it's your first time, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will definitely be dropping more, and see you all at the next video. Take care.